Good morning from day 9. Now you might have noticed that day 8 was pretty much skipped. Now this is because I actually finished the overland track a day early, and that meant that I had a day here in 𝗧𝘀𝗃𝗃 to basically wash clothes and transition from my hiking bag to this mid-sized bag that I'm carrying now, which was great. Really being able to dry my clothes, wash and dry my clothes, was absolutely brilliant. So that was day 8. This is now day 9, and today I'm making my way to Taralee via the geographical centre of Tasmania. So about 50 k's today. It's pretty cold right now. I think it's about -3. So I'm rugged up. I can still feel the cold getting through a little bit, but that's okay. I'm moving. It's a little after 5 a.m. in the morning, hence why probably all you can see is my little headlamp. But yeah, getting away early so that I can get to Taralee at a reasonable hour, because I think I have to make sure I reach there by about 6. These next several days, the distances vary from, I think the smallest is 33, which is going to be so nice, and the largest is today, which is 51 or 52 k's every day. But the good thing is, at night, each night, I reach some form of accommodation, so I don't have to carry my tent, my sleeping bag, anything like that. It's kind of it's a little bit like still going to the huts on the overland track, just maybe add a star or 2 to the rating. So, you know, it comes with its own linen, So nothing particularly fancy, but a bed for the night, which just means I have to carry a little less, which is great, and will enable me to do some of these longer distances. Anyway, that's enough talking in the dark. I'm going to get cracking on these kilometres, and I'll check in again soon. So, day 9, hitting the heart of Tassie today. Getting a little bit of light now. It's just gone 7:10, and I'm about 12 k's in at this point. So another k or two, and then I'll be about halfway to my first stop for the day, which will be the geographical centre of Tasmania. So it's been a pretty chilly morning. Bit of frost around, ice on the road. Yeah, nothing too extreme, but just enough to make the nose run a little. So not too much to report at this point. It's been a very quiet morning, only a couple of cars. So for now, just keep on plodding along. What I'd really like right now, and what I've been thinking about for the last couple of kilometres, is just a chair, just a seat that I could sit on for 1 minute. I've been walking since 5 a.m. straight, and I'd just like to stop for a minute, basically, get off my feet. But as you can see, there's nothing really to sit on anywhere, at least until I get to this marker. And my left foot, the heel, there's a bit of a hot spot forming there. That's been getting progressively worse, and I want to patch it up before it becomes a blister, but I think I'm going to miss that opportunity by the time I get to the marker. So that's annoying, but I can handle a blister. Quality lunch, white bread, Vegemite sandwich. You know, I never desire a Vegemite sandwich, but in situations like this, I actually go down a treat. I don't know why. I think you'd have to pay me to eat a white bread Vegemite sandwich at home. I don't know what it is. So I am at the marker now, the geographical centre of Tasmania. It's just probably out of view. Well, you might be able to see it. Just over across the water here. I'll go there in just a sec. I'm just having I think a well-deserved sit down. After 28 k's so far. I've been walking since about 5 a.m. So I'm just having a little rest before I carry on. There's another, I think, 24 kilometres to Taralee now. So Let's rest my little feet for a while. Maybe patch up that heel I was mentioning before. It's not giving me so much grief anymore. I adjusted the sock. I think it was bunching up a bit. So now I'm like, do I do something? Don't I do something? I probably will. Prevention is better than patching up later, I guess. Alright, I'm going to finish eating some food and then I'll head over to the marker. So here it is. This is the geographic heart, the centre of Tassie. So I started in Devonport 9 days ago. Now I'm halfway. Well, in a sense. Close enough anyway. Cool, so 24 k's to go. It's 10 to 11 in the morning. And I've done about 28.5 k's. No, 29 k's. Sorry. Alright, I'll check in a bit later. So I lasted about 2 k's before I cracked into the jelly beans. Don't judge me. So this is actually really beautiful. I'm walking my way down into Taralee. I'm still several k's out, but there's these kind of hairpin turns zigzagging their way down into the township. And yeah, as you can see, it's actually really pleasant right now. It's not too many cars. In fact, there's only been a couple. It's not too cold. It's so green. Sunshine coming through the trees. And then there's just birdsong all around. So this is kind of a nice way to round out the day. I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty well done. It's not just from the walking, but starting at 4 a.m. in the morning. Well, sorry, getting up at 4 a.m, starting at 5. It's a pretty long day. I didn't go to bed particularly early last night either. Not late, but just not getting up at 4 a.m. kind of early. Anyway, nearly there now. Again, I'll check in once I'm getting close. But just thought I'd share this very nice scene with you. Oh, how foolish I was, thinking that it was just a cruisy downhill stroll into Taralee. It was not. There was one huge uphill. I think this little bump here is the end of the climbing. Oh, I'm so done. This has been a long day. I really just want to finish. I'm just gonna keep walking on to my accommodation, which somehow I always manage to get the furthest ones after the longest days. Right up the back, out of sight, out of mind. No Wi-Fi, no phone signal, totally cut off from the world. Some of you are going, ah, fantastic. I'm not. I like to be able to communicate. Oh, that's okay, I'll manage. Alright, I'm gonna go find my cabin. So it's day 10, and to celebrate the start of the halfway mark, a crowd has actually gathered to wish me well for day 10, which is pretty cool. So here they are. They're celebrating me leaving. As you can see, they're turning to walk with me. Thanks, guys. Thank you. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Look at that. Strong cheers from the audience. Yeah, I know. I'm silly. So anyway, it is day 10, as I said. And I'm underway. So, as I was mentioning as I walked into here last night, it's pretty strange. It's like a village, but all accommodation and all very quiet. So I haven't seen another living person here. Just lots of ducks and animals. It would have been good to record a little bit last night because this is a good example of arriving somewhere and there being no food available here, but having food pre-prepared. So there was rice and a rice cooker, and then some frozen curry that they dropped off earlier for me and was waiting for me. So I was able to cook that up last night and have that, and it was actually really yummy. So I also had to repatch my, I'm not even going to call it a blister on the back of my heel because it's just torn open. So the hole, I just dressed it lightly last night so it could still breathe, and now I've dressed it more thoroughly this morning. But you know, just going through the motions with all those little things last night probably would have been cool to show you, but honestly, I was absolutely knackered, shagged, stuffed. Yesterday was a killer. I mean, it's now 7:30. By this time yesterday, I'd already been walking for 2.5 hours. That was a long, long day. I literally ate my dinner last night, and I was in bed and asleep before 7 p.m. And I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. and I didn't stir at all. So I slept 11 hours solid, if that's an indication of how tired I was yesterday. So obviously recording didn't feature into those plans last night. I'm sorry to say. So tonight's good too though, because I get to Ouse. Thank you. I have no idea. And there's an IGA there, so I can actually go shopping and get some extra supplies. So that meant I had a pretty big breakfast this morning. I ate what they provided me, which wasn't heaps. The second sandwich that I'd made as a backup lunch yesterday, I actually pulled apart and toasted it this morning. Let's see if we can say hello to this little guy. Good morning. Look at you eating the plants. I bet the gardeners love that. So yeah, I was able to eat a bit more, and then for lunch today, instead I'm going to have the tin of tuna that I still have, and a Cliff Bar, and I've got some diced fruit as well. In other words, I'm just eating whatever I want to eat because I'm going to hit the shops tonight, so I can stock up a little bit. So that's a nice thought. I just have to get through today, which is 38 k's. So still no phone reception at this point. I'm hoping I'll get it at some point today. Otherwise, I might be posting about these days in June or July. Anyway. Alright, so feeling okay this morning. Not overly mentally psyched for another 40 k's, but I don't really have a choice, so I'm just gonna get on with it. And that starts with finding my way out of here. I think I'm going the right way, but I started recording before I really looked at anything, and I'm seeing a whole lot of no access looking things here. So I'm going to say goodbye for now and figure myself out. so I can get on with my day. Alright, here we go, day 10. By the end of today, I'm halfway through. Woo! So, just making my way out of Taralee estate, following the big pipeline to my left. I don't really have anything to say. I just intended to finally get myself on camera in this format, and that took a bit of fiddling around. So now I finally achieved it, but I have nothing to say. So I might, now that I know what to do, I'll come back and do this a bit later. I'm arriving into Ouse. It's 10 to 4, which is great because the shops here close at 6, so I got plenty of time. So that means I can go in there and get some supplies. Yesterday was going to be a bit challenging dinner-wise because the only option in Westaway, where I'm going to stop, is really a roadhouse, like a service station. So I might get something tonight. I might even leave a little later from here tomorrow so that I can go to the shops in the morning. So tonight I'm going to stay at a place called the 𝗗𝘀𝗃𝗲𝗃 Hotel, which is just a hotel here in town. Nothing particularly fancy, just your average kind of small town hotel. But you know, as usual, it'll have a bed, it'll have a shower, and that's enough to make me a happy man. Oh, and they have food, so yeah, the trifecta. So I haven't recorded a whole lot today. Hasn't really been a particularly interesting day. Just a lot of obviously roadside walking, some startled animals. I got I think one offer for a lift today, and then also had a copper pull over and asked me what I was up to and if I was okay. But that's really about it for today's events. Just very glad to be rolling into town for the night. My legs are pretty pooped, my feet are pretty pooped. I'm just generally pretty pooped. But I'll have good food tonight, another good sleep, and a slightly shorter day tomorrow, so that'll help the recovery. And that's about all I have to say, really. So I shall let you go. So just thought I would quickly show you my room in Ouse. So it's just, as you can see, quite simple. I'm not booking, luxurious Airbnbs or bed and breakfasts or anything like that. Literally just a place to sleep for the night. If I was still carrying my tent, I could certainly go about using that, but part of the point of doing these longer days was that I wasn't carrying as much weight. So tent was one of the things that got the cut, obviously. So yeah, quite literally a bed, a shower, place to eat, either within the premises or somewhere else. This hotel actually does have food downstairs, so this will do the trick. I'll stay here tonight and then I'll be away again early tomorrow for day 11. So good morning. It's day 11 and it's bloody cold. It's warmed up a little now, but it's still like -2, -3. So I know. It's not the worst. But it's still cold. As you can see, it's all pretty white around me. So yeah, day 11, walking a bit over 30 k's from Ouse to 𝗧𝘀𝗃𝗃. A much shorter day compared to some of the ones I've done recently. So yeah, I'm underway, and I'll check in as the day develops. Alright. Sorry, noisy cars. Alright, I'll check in a little later. Bye. So you can see that mist, the morning fog, starting to clear now. And it's actually a beautiful sunny day, which is really nice. I think it's going to be the last beautiful sunny day because the forecast is rain, and more rain coming up, which is not exciting. So I'm about 2 k's from 𝗧𝘀𝗃𝗃. And I'm knackered. And I've been barked at by so many dogs today. Yeah, I know. On the plus side though, I haven't been bitten by a dog. That happened on the Great Norfolk. So far at least that hasn't happened. So I tend not to record as much when I'm knackered, when I'm just tired and feeling done with the day. And I know that ideally that's not good because you have to kind of see all sides of it, right? And normally I'm pretty upbeat. But yeah, days like today are a bit of a lull day. I think it's probably just because I didn't sleep that long last night. Today's 32 k's. It's supposed to be kind of like a bit of an easy day. Hasn't felt that way. And maybe that's my mistake for putting it in my mind that they're supposed to be easier. Because 30 k's is still a pretty long way, especially with some hill climbs like there were today. So yeah. Alright. Welcome everybody to day 12. Day 12. Today I'm walking from 𝗧𝘀𝗃𝗃 to New Norfolk, and the next day gets me to Mt Wellington. So that's, essentially into Hobart. I'm not actually stopping in Hobart itself. I'm passing right through. But yeah, I kind of consider tomorrow to be my first sort of Hobart-y kind of day. So I guess it's going to get busier on the roads, and the roads might become a little less pretty since they're becoming a little bit more built up. So that's all good. Everything's going to plan so far. Nothing to really complain about. Body's holding up well. just a little physically and mentally tired, of course. Up to 12 days of the trek, so of course that's a little draining, but I'm hoping that I get the finish line endorphins, you know, the rush to the finish. And I kind of consider getting to Port Arthur, the finish, for two reasons. One, because after that is 3 capes, which is, as I learnt fairly late on in the planning piece, quite a cruisy finish. I actually thought it was going to be kind of like the overland track, you know, hiking, camping, etc. But no, it's a very kind of catered experience and small distances. So for that reason, the 3 capes I kind of consider a nice cool down, which is going to be great. But also walking to Port Arthur that final day, that's another 50k day. So it's going to be a massive finish to that particular day. So yeah, in my mind, that walking to Port Arthur day is just like crossing the finish line. So it's not really that far away now. This has taken a long time to plan, and it feels like it's happening very, very quick, as is always the way. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because this isn't the most enjoyable view for you to look at. But good morning from day 12, and 32 k's today, so not too bad. So yeah, just having a good day so far, which is nice. It's nice to have a good day. And the weather's nice too. It's of course it's still cold, but it's not too cold. So it's nice and relaxing. I'm not climbing up mountains and sweating and freezing on the outside. I'm just comfortable. It's just good, you know? Yeah, it's a very nice day, actually. Only thing that ruins it is that. It's the cars going past. And the tractors. But again, I can't really blame them since I'm walking on the road. This is unfortunately a very common occurrence on my walk. Roadkill. Not nice at all. Not nice to walk past. Not nice to smell. Not nice to exist. It's amazing. You know, cars drive past these guys all day, every day. But the second somebody walks past, all the animals, cows, sheep, not horses, they all freak out and they all run away. This whole field of sheep is moving away. Not because of the trucks and the 4-wheel drives and everything driving past, because of the one guy on foot walking past. Am I that scary? Do I smell that bad? Maybe that's it. Aww. Alright, I'm about 5 k's from New Norfolk. It's been a pretty good day, to be honest. Managed to find a coffee earlier on today and egg and bacon roll for brekkie. And then I was making a bit of a joke about being excited that I was getting close to the salmon ponds. Just, you know, as a random thing, until I actually reached the sign to turn off, and I mentioned that there was like a pancake kitchen there. Suddenly I was really excited. So I turned into there and had a bite to eat. Nothing too insane in the end, just a savoury pancake as a bit of lunch. Maybe a sneaky cider as well. And yeah, now I got about 5 k's to get to New Norfolk, so today's been nice. It's just been cruisy. As you can see, this is the first time in 12 days that I'm not wearing a jacket. So it's a bit more mild today. But I think I've got rain coming after this, as I keep mentioning, so I'm enjoying it while it lasts. So yeah, just finishing this last little bit. I'll get to my accommodation tonight. And yeah, looking forward to a shower as always. And then tomorrow I start climbing up into Mt Wellington, and other than maybe leaving the New Norfolk area, I'm actually going off the main road for some time and then into, I believe, the bush a bit to get up to Mt Wellington. I'm not following the road. So that'll be nice, just something a little different. It might also really suck because it's going to be steep and it might be wet, so we'll see how we go. But if nothing else, today has been relatively pleasant. Plenty of good food and drink and nice sights and good weather. So yeah, at least I got that, I guess. Yeah, it's going quick now. I'm approaching Hobart, and a couple more days and I'm going to be on the Three Capes track, which will be pretty specky, I think, so looking forward to that too. And it'll be nice to be done with the road walking. I mean, if you're going to walk on the road anywhere, Tassie's pretty nice. So, again, not complaining at all. It's been some really nice sights. And it's kind of nice in the sense that you don't really get the time to appreciate the roadside and sort of what's just off the road when you're driving, because you're moving so fast and you're focusing on the road. So this is just kind of, it's been a little different, you know, to walk on the side of the road and see everything in greater detail that you normally wouldn't, whilst also being able to reach my destination, even if it's quite a long way, within a reasonable time. So it's worked out well. Anyway, continue plodding along this road for another, well, yeah, 4-5 Ks now, and then we'll be at New Norfolk. Well, good morning from another chilly but beautiful morning here in Tassie. I'm in New Norfolk at the moment, starting my day a little later today. Because sunset might be factoring into my plans today, so wouldn't make sense to get away super early. I'd end up waiting somewhere for a while. So I've just left the accommodation now. Oh, damn it. And I still have the key in my pocket. You see, I'm just so excited that New Norfolk has a McDonald's, and I'm making my way to McDonald's for a coffee and a breakfast, and I'm so excited that I left the key in my pocket still. See, not everything goes completely flawlessly, but as you'll be able to see very, very shortly, I didn't get far, so no major drama. Since I'm coming all the way back to the motel, why don't I just show you around a little bit? Because this place is quirky. It's awesome. And kind of why I say it's awesome is because, you know, you can tell that it's an older motel. Although in saying that, it didn't really feel like it inside. But with what they've done, it makes it really fun. Well, that was my room there, number 25. And so the insides are the same. It's all very eclectic. I reckon the antique stores around here must love whoever owns this motel. Alright, here's the key drop that I forgot. Okay. And we're away. Take two. Alright, well, I've broken away from the roadside. Makes for a nice change. Obviously right now it's still technically kind of a road, but I'll hit a trail pretty soon. And that would be super exciting if it wasn't just up. It's like 1,400 meters of elevation today. So it's gonna get steep, it's gonna get hot, my legs are gonna get tired, my butt's gonna scream out. Doesn't that sound like fun? Don't worry. I've had my McDonald's breakfast this morning, so I'm ready to rock. So I'm 5Ks in at the moment. The day is about 35Ks all in all, I think. And about the next 25, maybe a bit more, is pretty much just an incline the whole way. So I expect it to be a tiring day. I've already taken my jacket off in preparation. I'm not wearing the beanie that I've been wearing pretty much the entire trip so far. So I'm expecting to be warm from this climb. So I just had a fella pull up and on this road. He lives along here somewhere, and he was basically just saying that there's a bit of a clash between Tas Parks and some of the private landowners in this area, because obviously the private land backs onto the Wellington Ranges, and according to him, there's a portion of this road that I'm on right now that's private land before I reach the trail, and the owner of that private land, due to the conflict with Tas Parks, gets quite irate with the mountain bike riders that come through here, which is the people that would normally use the trail I'm going to be walking on. And if I'm to believe what I'm told, and to paraphrase a little bit, it gets rather abusive. So that's always a interesting element to deal with. I'm hoping that it's not something I have to deal with. I'm about 15 minutes away from that trail. Certainly nothing I saw when planning this or anything I've seen walking here has suggested that I'm going through anywhere particularly private. Of course, if that was the case, I would make other arrangements, but I don't think most people would have a problem with someone walking through, you know, a road like this or whatever. But of course, if it was private, and you could see that from the start, you'd kind of want to seek permission. think I've gotten through that area. Definitely a bit weird. And they did have private property signs up. And the trail's just up here. So here's some more signs too. If I could speak to somebody, I'd certainly seek their permission, but the two people I saw kind of went and hid themselves as I walked past, so that made that a little hard. In any case, I think, I'm just going to check, but I think this is the trail here. It is. So by rights, as I understand it, this should be 𝗧𝘀𝘃𝗃𝗃's land now. Yeah, it's getting steep. I didn't want to stop down there either. Okay, well, hopefully we're good now. So I'm going to find somewhere just to sit down for a second because I'm kind of pooped, if you can hear. Okay. As you can see, obviously a very well trafficked path. I've definitely had worse though. I'm not supposed to get any rain today, but the clouds are starting to look a bit ominous. So I really hope it doesn't, because climbing up hills while raining equals very wet, because you're sweating a lot as well as getting rained on. Ah, who loves a good climb? Not me. Although I am reassured by the fact, I just looked at the map and this initial big climb is kind of the biggest and longest of the day. I'm sure the other climbs will feel pretty ordinary too, but at least there isn't a really big one at the end or something. At least not as big as this one. Currently on the Mount Connection track. Thankfully I'm on it now after missing the turnoff and not realizing for a while. And of course, during that time I went down a very steep downhill and realized at the bottom that I'd gone the wrong way. So my reward for that blunder was to climb back up the hill. hence the puffing. But now I'm on the trail. This is gonna get me pretty close to Mt Wellington, I believe. This has been a pretty long day. It's not near over yet, but that being said, I have enjoyed it. That's essentially what leads to the blunders in navigation, is when I'm enjoying myself, because I stop watching the directions and I just walk. It's a catch-22. So I was not expecting a climb like this so late in the day, but yeah, I'll take it. What do you think? Yeah, I reckon that's worth the effort. Oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, straight ahead. I'm going to call it Hobart, but I realise it's not the city of Hobart. Hobart area. And if we just pivot to our right a little bit, maybe that's a little far. There we are. I still have to climb that mountain. Not sure that I'm going to catch much light by the time I get up there, but very close now. Yeah, it's going to be a headlamp walk to my finishing point tonight. I just have to accept that. Far out. Ladies and gentlemen, I've made it to dinner. And I say dinner because I still have to walk a little bit to my accommodation. I was meant to go there first, but this place will close if I do that. And eating is way more important. You know, I haven't even had lunch today. I mean, I snacked on a few things. Like, well, I mean, when I say that, like some chocolate. I had my 𝗧𝘀𝗃𝗃 and a multivitamin dissolved in that too, like an effervescent one. But I'm still pretty amazed that I'm not absolutely dying. But it will be good to put some food in my belly for sure. This is the Fern Tree Tavern. Oh, I can't wait to get some food. It's been a long day. Not entirely sure how many kilometres now. Over 35, I think. But it was just obviously the terrain. It was tough. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off before I freak people out. It is day 14. 2 weeks on the trail. I'm in an area called Fern Tree in Tassie. I spent the night in a room just at an Airbnb run by Mark. And we had a good chat last night about the whole trek, and he also made a donation, which was very, very kind, so thank you, Mark. And now I'm off, and today I'm going to cross through Hobart. So, if nothing else, I've made it from Devonport to Hobart. So I'm just following a fire trail at the moment that's going to bring me around to another track. That'll bring me around to a road. That'll bring me around to the Cascade Brewery, which I'll have a quick look at. It's not going to be open at this time, but I'll have a look. And then that's quite naturally going to lead into a cafe for some brekkie. I'm already armed with a banana, but I'll save that for a bit later. Feeling pretty good today, all things considered. Yesterday was really rather challenging. Oh, is this the track that I need? No, good, because it's uphill. Yeah, yesterday turned out to be a much more challenging day. You know, I'd seen the elevation map for the day. I knew that there was a lot of climbing, but I probably didn't realise just how much climbing, nor the intensity of the descent along the zigzag track in the dark, late in the afternoon after a full day. To be honest, I managed really well, all things considered. I actually really enjoyed myself, even despite getting in so late. Yes, this is what I want. And I was conscious of that even as the day was winding down, and that was, to be honest, a little surprising given the the lead up to yesterday and then yesterday itself. But there you go. I wasn't going to complain. It was just an enjoyable day. I saw lots of great scenery, got lots of nice pictures, which always makes me happy too. And yeah, climbing the mountains and getting the views that I got, it was all pretty exciting. So it was a good day. Today is going to be a lot flatter, at least once I get down to sort of Hobart level. I'm basically walking from Fern Tree this morning to Cambridge, which is just near the Hobart airport. There's like a holiday park there. I'm going to stop and have a holiday. No, I'm just going to spend the night there, and then I'll carry on to Taralee the following day, and then Port Arthur the day after that, and then it's the 3 Capes. So we are certainly getting towards the pointy end now, which is very exciting. And here we have the Cascade Brewery. It's pretty cool. There's Mt Wellington in the background too. The oldest brewery in Australia. So let's say 1824. So just a little fun side story. For those of you that don't know, I actually work in family history. And I do that because I love family history. I love understanding my own family history and helping other people discover their own. And so setting off on this Tassie walk, my auntie actually let me know that my grandparents had their honeymoon here in Hobart, and she pulled out an old photo of a hotel or a building that they stayed in. She's got the old photo there and she showed me, or sent it to me, and so I made it a point of coming and finding the place. So I'm in Battery Point in Hobart, and it's had a little bit of a name change in the meantime, but this is where my grandparents not got married, I was about to say, where they went on their honeymoon in around about 1956. So I say around about because they were married in 56. I'm making the assumption that they went on their honeymoon pretty soon after. But unfortunately neither of them are still with us, so unfortunately I can't call to check. But yeah, I find it particularly nice to visit places that my forebears have been, and so many years ago they would have been here. That's as much as I want to know. I don't want to know much else about what they got up to while they were here, being that they were on their honeymoon. But yeah, very cool. Good morning from day 15. Yep, loving this traffic. So I'm just going to hope that you can hear me okay. Obviously a lot of this trip has been walking alongside the road, and I think a lot of people probably thought that that was like this. It was not. It was peaceful. It was really nice with the occasional car that would go past. But now, so close to Hobart, it's a lot of traffic. So looking forward to getting out of this area and away from all these cars. This is where headphones are good and block out all the car noise. But day 15, over 2 weeks now, today and tomorrow, and then I hit the 3 capes, so nearly there. It's about 75 k's between me and Port Arthur, which is where I stopped before the 3 capes. So another couple of big days. Then I hit the 3 capes, and by all accounts that's going to be a lovely, relaxing wind down. So actually one of the difficult things on a walk like this is maybe not something you'd suspect. It's just finding somewhere to sit, honestly. I mean, you don't really want to sit in the ground, it's not comfortable. You want somewhere where you can sit in a normal position. Because when you're walking, 30 to 50 k's a day, you just sometimes need a few minutes to rest your feet, and that's actually a lot harder than you'd suspect, especially when you're going through areas where there's a lot of towns. So as you might be able to see now, I'm actually just off the road next to a bridge, and I'm sitting on a pile of rocks, and it's actually a pretty nice spot. Although the wind is just starting to kick in, it looks like there's some dark clouds coming. Might be due for another spot of rain. But yeah, it's nice. There's a bunch of swans on the water, and except for the occasional traffic going past, it's just a nice little chill spot to rest my feet. It's 3 o'clock now, and I still have about 2 hours to go. I've done 28 k's, and yeah, about another 12 to go. So, getting there. Hi. How you doing? No, you'll probably try to eat it. Come on. Come on. So I do sometimes get asked what goes through my head when I'm walking these long days. And so as I walk this 39th kilometre of day 15, day 14, day 15, day 14, day 15. Let me tell you what's going through my head right now. You ready? Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, that's about it. My feet, they hurt. But I can see dinner just ahead. The lights are on and somebody's home, and that somebody is hopefully going to feed me. Just got to get a little bit further. So I'm starting day 16 with a walk of shame. may not be able to tell in the video, but I am walking back the way I came. The reason for that is that when I left the hotel last night, in my haste to just get done for the day, I took my little beanie hat, weatherproof beanie that I have enjoyed so much on this trip, and I just threw it on my waist with my bag strap, strapped it to my waist, just as a lazy, quick way to basically carry it without putting it on. Well, sure enough, shortly after when I got out here last night, I took the bag off to grab my head torch, and then I got going again. Obviously this morning, when I've gone to locate my beanie, guess what? It wasn't there, because I imagine that it fell off and has spent the night sitting out here on its own in the cold. So this is about 850 metre walk there and 850 metre back. Punishment walk. Serves me right. It's not what I wanted for the start of my day, but I did want to get away by 6. It's now 5:30, so I've got the time, and I'm walking without my bag. So after 15 previous days of walking with bags, not having one, I feel like I'm levitating, which is nice. And hopefully I just find the beanie. Gotcha. Holy crap, it's even dry. I was about to say what a shame that it's upside down, because I mean it'll be wet, but on the inside. But no, it's dry. So a good news story for the morning, boys and girls. Despite my silliness. Well, somehow I've still managed to have plenty of time up my sleeve. Find my beanie. I'll get back, put on my bag, and get day 16 officially underway. Well, now a proper good morning for day 16, the very last of the big days. Today is going to be about 40 kilometres, and then I reach Port Arthur, which is a World Heritage Convict site. Be staying there this evening. Got a dinner booked there and accommodation booked there, and it's also the start point for the Three Capes track, which is the final 4 days of this trek. I'm guessing you can't hear it. Maybe I can show you. And come over the other side of the road. You might be hearing it now. That little siren sound. Wait. Ready? This should work. Oh, made a liar out of me. Okay, well, So much for, oh, there you go. That little siren, it's on the little road markers. I saw it in Cradle Mountain, I saw it here too. Now, I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming that it's to alert animals to get off the road because it seems to be light activated, which is pretty cool. I had wondered earlier on in the walk, before I got to Cradle Mountain, what the solution was for a place like, you know, Tassie or one of these areas of the world where thankfully it's still quite wild and you do have all this wildlife crossing the road. There's just so much roadkill here. And so I wonder how well these things work. I've only seen them at Cradle Mountain and now. And to be fair, in both places I didn't see a lot of roadkill. It could just be coincidence, but if they work, that's awesome. It means there's a solution and they can keep rolling them out across the roads. Very cool. I am coming down into Eaglehawk Neck, which is this thin stretch of land joining mainland Tassie to, I think it's the Tasman Peninsula. As you can see, it's a pretty miserable day today. The rain has finally come in earnest and it's pretty chilly too. I'm so far a little over 18 k's into the 40k day, so nearly halfway. Getting very excited about ending this phase of the trip and just having the 3 capes ahead of me. Just had a bus go past. A bus from Hobart that's heading out to Port Arthur. And I had a special little someone on that bus. And that little someone's going to be waiting for me at Port Arthur. And that's super exciting, but I'll talk more about that a little later on. For now, as always, just keep trudging along and get this final long day over and done with. So I am less than 3 k's from Port Arthur. Unreal. Today has gone very quickly. In saying that, I've been walking for over 7 hours. Whew. Still a long day, but I think the combination of the early start and the fact that it's the last day of these long days is making it feel pretty good. So nearly there, a couple more k's and we'll be at Port Arthur. Here goes the final descent into Port Arthur. And check that out, 3 capes track start. I made it. It's you. Ready, Pep?
Yeah.